Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So let's just philosophize on limitations. We all have limitations, right? I mean, every single person on earth has their own unique set of limitations. That's what makes us who we are. You're good at stuff, I'm good at different things. There's no two people that are the same. Our limitations can be our weaknesses. We all have similar weaknesses. Fear death, fear pain. But each weakness is uniquely tailored to us, our particular set of traumas, our resiliency or lack thereof. You know, you can let your limitations haunt you, you can let them hold you back, limit you, or you can use them as your strengths. That's an aspect of growth that it really takes somebody who's wise to get. It takes somebody who's confident, who's willing to take risks, who's willing to fall and willing to be hurt, but knows that they, no matter what happens, they're happy if they tried and they can always pick themselves back up. Here's an example. I know a buddy of mine. I've known him, I've known this guy for 18 years or so, a long time, maybe 20 years now, quite a long time. His name is Aaron. He goes by the nickname, the stage name, I should say, more accurately, of Shorty Dangerously. Now, Shorty, what we all call him, is a self-described half-man. He's been cut off at the waist, just below his belt. Walks around on his hands. I've known Aaron before he got into doing freak shows, and he travels with, what's it called? Hell's a Poppin' Freak Show, I believe. And they travel the world. He's been on TV several times. He's always been one of the happiest motherfuckers I've ever met. From the very first time that I ever met him, he had a kind of a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed attitude. I've never seen him depressed. I'm sure he gets depressed. I mean, what a hard life that would be to have no legs. His particular story is he had him cut off, I think, when he was a baby or a small child because of some sort of disease. So for the most part, it's all he knows, but trust me, I mean, just imagine for a second of how hard your life would be, just even jumping up on the toilet, going to brush your teeth in the bathroom, making food, just navigating around town. Aaron, when I met him, worked at a hot rod shop where they built custom performance hot rods, Camaros and stuff like that. I went by to check on him one day and to buy a part, and he was there, so I went in the back and checked him out, and he's up inside the engine, standing on the air cleaner, sitting on it, and he was only half a guy. I mean, he's cut off at the belt line. It looked like he was like a hood ornament. I mean, he looked like he's part of the vehicle. It was just kind of a funny scene because most of us would have to stand over the car and lean in it. He can jump right in it. He's raced cars, had pictures of himself on the racetrack, on the drag strip, cars set up, you know, because he has no legs, so he has to have it set up for all hand controls. The guy was fearless. You'd see him walking around town sometimes, he'd put gloves on his hands and he'd be walking on his hands. He ended up a DJ at a strip club, which he liked. I mean, it's a sleazy scene, but I guess he liked playing music and the girls were nice to him, you know, I don't know. But then he got into the freak show thing, and I was really nervous about it for him, I guess just as a protective friend. My first instinct was kind of to retract and say, I don't know, Aaron. Freak show, really? Is that what you want to do? Think about it before you do that kind of shit. And he went out and did a tour with them, just to try it out. And he was a hit. And he loved being on stage, and people loved him, and the interaction between him and the crowd is all of a sudden is just like this magical energy. And it was something that he really had a knack for. He never knew. He travels the world. He's been to Australia, been to Europe, goes all over the world. He's got a reputation. He's probably one of the most successful entertainers that I know, and I know a couple people that are in the entertainment industry. He's really taken a major limitation in life. I've thought, since I've known this guy, I've thought a few times that, gosh, if I was him, if somebody were to switch bodies with us, and I was stuck in that body, I'd kill myself. Not Aaron. Not Aaron. He's never even tried. He's fully functioning, happy. He's an amazing guy. And I just think it's a good example of somebody who's taken their limitations, a major limitation, and turned it into a strength. He's perfectly happy with who he is. I don't think he's planning on getting any robot legs anytime soon. That's pretty much an option these days with technology. He could get himself some robot legs and walk around like a cyborg. He's got money. Aaron makes good money. I don't think that he's planning on that. He's perfectly happy with his limitations. And it's not that he has just accepted it, and he could have done that years ago and just become some fat shut-in, never go out and be riddled with problems, and probably eventually just die a early life from health problems, from being so depressed and shut in all the time. I mean, that would be an option, right? That's how a lot of us would probably think. No, he really didn't let that kind of thing stop him, and used that to further his life. It's an aspect of growth. People with PTSD, especially, they need to learn how to make that transition. It's one thing to just manage our triggers. It's one thing to just manage your pain, to just tolerate your weakness. I can get through the day with my level of weakness. But it's another thing to move past it and to use that trauma that you went through, the very thing that fucked you up, as an aspect of strength. Maybe if you were raped, you're sexually assaulted. I've known lots of women who were sexually assaulted. You can kill yourself. You can learn how to get through your day and just kind of be as good as you can be, and you may suffer from depression and all kinds of triggers and issues, but you make it through. Or you could be one of these types of women who starts a foundation and counsels people, does TED Talks, writes books, helps people, becomes a legacy, uses the very experience that fucked them up as something to propel their entire lives forward, but also others as well. That's growth. Taking our limitations and turning them into powers, into superpowers, into strengths. And instead of saying, God damn, this thing happened, you say, thank God this thing happened. Thank God I'm this way, instead of, God damn, why am I this way? I don't know, it's all just food for thought. Tell me what you think.